Okay, so we've gone through and defined what it means to be a leader, which is to influence others toward a goal, to maximize people's potential. We know what it means to be a Christian leader because we influence others with the love of Christ, who actually directly influences us. Well, we're going to go through and we're going to talk about a book called The Leadership Challenge. And specifically, we're talking about the Christian reflections on this leadership challenge. It's a very popular book that they use in colleges and when they teach leadership. See, there are 5 basic principles, practices, you could say, of modeling the way, inspiring a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. We're going to go through these 5 different practices and talk about them and how they can be applied to our Christian leadership challenge. The first practice we're going to be talking about is modeling the way. Now, to model the way, we need to clarify values and set the example. So, what does it mean to model the way? Well, to put it in the context for us and VCLA, we really want to model the WISCO way. See, these are the values that we have on our campus. We want to reflect Christ's love, his unity, his truth, the gratitude that we have, the peace, the wisdom, integrity, humility, courage, and faith. These are the values that we hope that we want to share. The other thing is that we want to do is we want to be able to find our voice. And you need to find your voice. Many of you have different talents and strengths and may be able to reflect these characteristics differently. Some of you are more vocal, others more reserved. But in any case, when we reflect and when we model the way, when we clarify these values and find our voice, the key thing to leadership is that we are all going to try to be influencers. Influencers of Christ's love, which is really a relationship. Now, this might get a little confusing, but see, leadership is influence, and influence is actually a relationship. A relationship you have with someone or something. That's what influences you the most. So if Christ is our leader, he influences us to go out into the mission field. He tells us to go and make disciples of all nations, to baptize people. Now, in order to make sure that we influence others, the key thing is that we need to find and make sure that we're focused on our own identity. Our identity, that which is found in Christ. That's why for Christian leaders specifically, the number one commitment that we want to have is that we want to grow our relationship with Christ. Because if we don't grow our relationship with Christ, how will we be able to share and really make sure that others grow their relationship with Jesus as well? So to model the way, to model the WISCO way, to model those values, we need to make sure we grow ourselves and have a healthy relationship with God. Now, what does it take to grow relationships? Well, like any relationship, it takes time and effort. It's a commitment. It also takes communication and active reflection and listening. So if you're in a relationship with a friend or a family member or whatnot, it takes time and effort to grow that relationship with that friend. It also takes us communicating with one another and also listening. So how do we do that with God? Well, how is your church Bible study and service life? Do you take the time and effort to go to church, to grow in Bible and your knowledge in it, and also to serve? I hope that you take time to communicate to God through prayer, and also that you're listening to God through your own personal Bible study and reflection. So here, this is where I want you to take this opportunity. Identify areas right now where you are strong and maybe some areas where you need improvement and write those down. So now what we're going to do, this is your challenge. I want you to take and identify an area that you can improve on and create a goal. Create a goal on what you're going to do to strengthen your relationship with God, whether that's through time and effort, maybe going to church more regularly or Bible study or service. Maybe it's more active communication and prayer. Maybe it's also active and reflective listening through personal Bible study. Whatever the case may be, make a plan and write this down right now. Plan on how you're going to do this specifically. I'm going to take, in the beginning of the day, 5 minutes to pray and have a prayer list. The third thing is that you need to keep yourself accountable. Share this goal with others. And honestly, when our first impact team meeting, you're going to bring in this goal to share with the group.